Previous video you learned how to collect data from your light sensor, and in this one we're going to use that data to do something. So yeah, let's say, and we're going to do that using something called an if else statement. That's not fitting, that's okay. But yeah, so I'm gonna set the scene for us. Let's say we're in a setting where flash photography is not allowed. Maybe we're in a museum that has a lot of antique paintings. You take a flash photo and it ruins the paintings. Maybe you're at someone's house and they don't want flash photos being taken for whatever reason. Anyway, flash photos not allowed. But sometimes people will forget and they might take a flash photo, in which case we want there to be a circuit that detects when there is a camera flash, and then it's connected to a buzzer, and that just makes a very unpleasant sound, and so people realize, oh wait, I shouldn't have done that, I shouldn't have taken that photo, and then they stop taking flash photos. So how would something like this works? How would something like this work? We're gonna use something called an if else command, and I'm gonna go to logic and drag this block over here, and yeah, then you want to click this gear icon over here and drag the else. So this is where the if else comes in. And what this does is, if whatever condition I put into this empty window over here, if that condition holds true, it's going to run some code, and if that condition is not true, then it's going to run some other code. What do I mean by that? Let's go to input and output, and let's say light sensor light on pin A0. So now this means that if there is light detected on our light sensor, which is connected to pin A0, we are going to run code that will make a buzzer make noise, and if that's not the case, then we will run code that will tell the buzzer to shut up. And let's find that code over here in input/output. So yeah, this is the code right here. Tone on pin 0, let's change this to pin 2 to 123 hertz, and then stop tone on pin 2 to. So yeah, so once again, let's go through what this does. If there is light on our light sensor, which is connected to pin A0, there is going to be a tone on pin 2. Pin 2 is where we plan on connecting our buzzer to 123 hertz. Hz stands for hertz, which is the frequency of the sound. You can change this value if you want, but that basically, if you increase it, then you're gonna get a very high pitched sound, and if you decrease it, you're gonna get a very low pitched sound. I'm just gonna keep this value the same, but yeah, feel free to change it if you want. So if there is light, we want a tone on pin 2, else stop the tone on pin 2, because yeah, if we don't put the stop the tone command, then yeah, the second there is light, the buzzer's just going to go off, and it's gonna keep going off forever and ever. But we want it to only be on when there is light on the sensor. In fact, actually, let's also add a wait, and let's make this 300 milliseconds. So yeah, basically it's going to make a buzz for 3 seconds, which is 300 milliseconds, just so that it's not, because as you might know, camera flashes are very quick, but even though the light might be quick, you want the sound to be on for 3 seconds, so that whoever is taking a flash photo realizes that they shouldn't have done that. So yeah, that is the code, fairly straightforward. Now we will look at how the circuit is built. Okay, so the first part of the circuit, which is this photo sensor here, that is the exact same as the previous video. So hopefully you didn't dismantle your circuit, but if you did, now would be a good time to build the circuit again if you remember how to build it, or go back to the previous video and see how you built it in there. But from this point on, I'm going to assume that you have the circuit from the previous video set up on your breadboard and then move forward. The rest of what we have to do is fairly straightforward. So we're going to connect this buzzer over here, and buzzers like LED have polarity. You can see that one leg is taller than the other one, which means that the taller leg is the positive end of the buzzer and the shorter leg is the negative end of the buzzer. So I'm just going to place this buzzer here on my breadboard. We want the tall leg of it. The tall leg needs to go to digital pin 2 because that's how we wrote our code. This is digital pin 2. And then the shorter leg, which is negative, that one goes to ground. So I'm gonna connect this part over here to ground. Remember, our ground was connected to this power line here. And yeah, now that I am confident that I have wired this correctly, I am going to push this buzzer in. So yeah, that is literally the only modification we're making to our previous circuit now. Instead of just having the photoresistor, we also have a buzzer. And yeah, now I'm going to move back to the computer screen for a little bit to show some modifications that we might have to make to the code to make sure everything works okay. Before we copy and paste this code and start running it, we're gonna do something called calibrating the sensor. What do I mean by that? So let's look at these lines of code here. The one from bool is light to this closed bracket over here. So over here you can see that in that line there is an if statement in there which says if analog read A0 is greater than 300, return true, else return false. What that means is in the previous video you might remember we plotted certain values on serial monitor, and whenever I shown my flashlight on the photoresistor, those values went up to around like 700-ish. When there was no such light on the photoresistor, those values were much lower in the 200, 300 range. So what it's saying is that if analog read is taking in a value greater than 300, then then what we're saying is there is light. We're returning true, that it's true that there is light on the photoresistor. We're going to go and see, it's possible that we might need to change this value. So let's open our code from the previous video. Hopefully you have this saved, and I'm just going to re-upload it. It's compiling, it's uploaded, and open serial monitor. And you can see over here there is no flashlight shining on the photoresistor right now. But the values are still going above 300, which is not good. I don't want the buzzer to start buzzing just in ambient light. Now you can see when I shine my flashlight, there is a pretty big difference, right? This is going all the way to the 750, 800 range, and that is when I want the buzzer to go off, not when it's just above 300. So I'm gonna close this, and we're gonna copy paste this code and then make one quick modification to it. So I'm gonna copy it and open a new tab over here, select all, paste my code, and let's change this to 500. So now we're like very safe, and we know for a fact that only when it gets a flashlight, my camera flashlight level brightness on the photoresistor, only then is the buzzer going to light. So now I am going to upload this code, and I will switch to the other camera to show you the circuit in action. Okay, let's see how well my circuit works. So I am going to shine my flashlight, and it works exactly as we would expect. Even after a quick flash, the buzzer makes a very unpleasant sound for about 3 seconds, so that you know that you made a mistake and you probably shouldn't do that again. And that is message received for anyone who makes that mistake. Let's try that again. Yep. perfect. So even with a very quick flash, our circuit is working exactly like we would expect. So I hope the circuit that you built in, yeah, alongside me, uh, which is basically, yeah, the circuit was able to work just as well. If not, feel free to reach out to us over message. Um, yeah, we will in our assessment we will ask you to build a slightly different version of the circuit, but which relies on the same principles. And yeah, we look forward to seeing what you do there, and we also look forward to seeing you in doubt solving sessions. So thanks everyone, see you soon.